What up, guys? GangstaPranksta here, bring you my Bound for Glory. This is how I would book Bound for Glory. If you missed a weekly wrestling review annotation in the top corner right now, it was supposed to be in that episode, but I ran out of time, so I did in a separate video. So I like fantasy booking, how I would do the show compared to how the company would do the show. So I'm a big fan of fantasy booking. Don't expect me to do this a lot, just like big shows, I like to do it, just like how good I think I could put together a show compared to the company. So, I think the next time I'll do this is probably WrestleMania. But yeah, I like fantasy booking. I created my own Bound for Glory, and I think it's pretty good. But I'll leave that up to you guys, and I'll leave a question at the end. But I've got 9 matches here. If you want to follow along with the matches, I got them listed in the description, so you guys go check them out. But, I have 9 matches here. I think they're all really good. They all have a storyline. They all make sense. And let's just go through them real quick. So the first match I would have is Austin Aries versus Brian Kendrick versus Kid Kash versus Jesse Sorensen versus Kazarian in an Ultimate X match for the X Division title. Basically, the storyline would be, so Jesse Sorensen, he beats Kid Kash at No Surrender, so he gets a number 1 contender spot. And then Austin Aries would, face him on an Impact and beat him and stuff, with Kid Kash interfering, of course. And, Brian Kendrick would make the save. That'd have a tag team match, like, the next week, and then that would lead to a brawl. Huge brawl. And then you have Kazarian come out and just be like, I'm sick of how you guys are acting in the X Division. This is not how we used to act. And he's going to be like, I'm a veteran in the X Division. I've been here since pretty much day one. I think I should be the rightful holder of the X Division title. So that's how he gets thrown into this whole feud. And they're going to have a 5-way Ultimate X match. And, Kazarian pretty much says, there's only one way to have an X Division match, and that's Ultimate X, and then that's how they have the match. And I was thinking about throwing Christopher Daniels in here, but I just left him out and threw Kazarian in there. So I think this sounds like a really good match, and I would have Austin Aries win. Have this match go about 12-13 minutes, and have Austin Aries win, and that would lead into an Austin Aries Kazarian feud for the X Division title, and I think those could be good matches right there. So that's how I would handle the X Division. Next, I would have Tara and Brooke Tessmacher defend their Knockouts Tag Team title against Sarita and Rosita, and Winter and Angelina Love, and ODB and Jackie Moore. So this would be a 4-way elimination match for the Knockouts Tag Team title. The storyline with this would be Tara and Miss Tessmacher. They're champs, and they face Sarita and Rosita. They still have a feud going on there. And Winter, she's pissed that Mickie's champion, and she's not getting a number 1 contenders match at Bound for Glory. We'll talk about that later. So she's pissed, and she wants to take out her frustrations. So they attack Tara and Miss Tessmacher. So Sarita, Rosita, Winter, and Angelina Love would beat up Tara and Miss Tessmacher after a match or something. And you have ODB and Jackie Moore. They come out and they make the save, and you just have them feud all around. And have a 4-way elimination match at the Bound for Glory. I'd have this go about 10 minutes, and I'd have ODB and Jackie Moore win, just because they came in and they want to change and stuff. So I'd make them the champions. Next, I would we'll talk about the other women's match, Mickie James versus Velvet Sky for the Knockouts title. So the storyline here would be throughout the year, TNA was, having Velvet in all these kinds of feuds, and just the reason she would be feuding with these people is because they all make fun of her because she never won the women's title. Well, after, a year, fighting for her spot, she finally earns the title shot, and she faces Mickie, and you give this about 8 minutes. and you let Velvet win, and she becomes the Knockouts champion for the first time. And I think that'd be really good. Next would be Beer Money versus Mexican America in a steel cage match. So you'd have the steel cage, so Rosita and Sarita wouldn't interfere. And this would continue after feud previously. But you know, Jeff Jarrett embracing the Mexican culture and stuff, that they stopped on TNA. I don't know why. You do one thing one week and then something different the next. That's typical TNA. But in this scenario, I would continue this. And at the pay-per-view, you know, they have a good 20-minute match. I'd say that perfect amount of time for them to wrestle. During the match, you'd have Jeff Jarrett interfere. And who makes the save? Who helps Beer Money? You have Chavo Guerrero. Chavo Guerrero, he comes out, he makes a save for Beer Money, he takes out Jeff, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Beer Money win. And Jeff and Chavo would have a feud. And you have, like, different matches, like Jeff versus Chavo, and Jeff and Karen versus Chavo and Tracy. And after a couple months, this would finally lead to a match between Jeff and Chavo and Karen and Tracy, so they can all get their hands on each other. So that's what they were kind of hinting at before, but they kind of just stopped. So I would go through with it, and have Chavo debut and feud with Jeff Jarrett. So next we got Gunner and Mr. Anderson versus Bully Ray and Abyss in a Monsters Ball match. So the story for this would be Mr. Anderson and Bully Ray. So they have the feud, and you know, Bully Ray has been treating Gunner like shit, just like throughout the Bound for Glory series. He's like, if we face, you know, I'm gonna win, you're just gonna lie down, and I'm gonna be the world champ, and you're not, and just like it's all about him. And he's been treating Gunner really badly. So during an Impact, you'd have like Immortal jump Mr. Anderson, and you know, you give Gunner the chair to nail Mr. Anderson. And, you know, Gunner has, like, a change of heart and nails Bully Ray. And, yeah, so that would be an alliance between Gunner and Mr. Anderson. And, you know, Bully Ray, he might be a tough guy. But against Mr. Anderson and Gunner, you're going to need some backup. And in this scenario, he would have Abyss. And it would be a tag team match and a Monsters Ball match. I think this could be a good match. Originally, I wanted this to be a fatal 4-way match. Just like a 4-way Monsters Ball match, but I'm like, you know what, let's make it a tag team match. Makes more sense. So it'd be Gunner versus Mr. Anderson, Bully Ray. Gunner and Mr. Anderson versus Bully Ray and Abyss in a Monsters Ball match. You give this about 12 minutes. They brawl all over the arena and stuff. And I'd have Gunner and Mr. Anderson win. You know, you have tables, ladders, barbed wire, thumbtacks, tables on fire. You have everything. You have everything in this match. Next, a match between, well, it's 2 matches in one, but the feud's like all together and stuff. AJ Styles versus Jeff Hardy, and Samoa Joe versus RVD. And the feud for this would be, I think it was last week on the Weekly Wrestling Review, I linked a video of TNA had a backstage segment with AJ and Jeff Hardy where Jeff Hardy apologized to AJ Styles, and AJ is just like, you know, fuck you, man, I'm not taking your apology. Like, you would do this and have it in the ring. I'd have Jeff Hardy make his return after No Surrender and just be like, you know, I'm sorry, guys, I messed up, and, you know, I want another chance and stuff. And AJ comes out, and he's like, you know, fuck you, man, I've been working my ass off, I never fucked up, and I don't get the chances that you get, and stuff like that. And, you know, Jeff's just like, you know what, dude, I'm sorry, I really messed up. And AJ will not forgive him and stuff. And eventually you have, like, RVD come in, and, you know, it's like, you know, Jeff's a huge star, okay? Give him another chance. He put TNA on the map along with me. And that's, like, RVD's ego. Like, he's a former WWE star, so he's a big, huge star. He's a rock star or whatever. And you'd have Samoa Joe come out and kind of back up AJ and be like, you know what, fuck you both. Just because you're from the WWE does not mean you work as hard as us. You know, we've been working here forever. RVD, he got a world title match 1 month after he's been in the company. Samoa Joe got one after like a year, you know? So, like, how's that fair? because RVD's the bigger star. And eventually, AJ, he belittles Jeff Hardy, and eventually Hardy snaps. He's like, if you can't accept my apology, maybe you'll accept a match with me at Bound for Glory. And, that would lead up to like a huge brawl, and then you'd have RVD interfere in that brawl, and you have Samoa Joe take out RVD, so that would lead to their match. So it'd be Samoa Joe versus RVD. I'd give that maybe 15 minutes, and I'd have Samoa Joe win, just like choke out RVD or whatever, muscle buster, whatever. But in the AJ Styles Jeff Hardy match, I'd give this maybe 25 minutes, and it'd be a long and back and forth match, and just AJ would be like, he would hit everything on Jeff Hardy and be like, man, I can't take this out. And, eventually Hardy would beat AJ. And then, like, on an Impact the next week, you have, like, AJ be like, you know what, you are working hard, I respect you now, and blah, blah, blah. And Jeff Hardy's like, thanks, man, I'm trying to work hard and stuff. And then RVD would come out, and he would turn heel, and I would have him lead Immortal, and they would feud with AJ, Jeff, and Samoa Joe, and some other guys. So that would be the huge feud I would have for the next year after Bound for Glory. But yeah, that's an AJ versus Jeff Hardy match. I think that feud would be good. I just think it would be really good. We got 2 more matches. Next is Sting versus Hulk Hogan. Been building up this whole year, so why not have the match? Even though it's not going to be like the best match, you still have the match for whatever, sell tickets, because people know Sting and Hogan. And you have everyone interfere. You have Immortal, Scott Steiner, Bischoff, who else? Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair, whatever. Sting takes them all out, and then he finally takes out Hogan. I don't know if you'd make Hogan tap, like with the sharpshooter or whatever. With the Scorpion Deathlock, I mean, but it is a sharpshooter. But, yeah, you just have, Sting win, and if Sting wins, Hogan leaves TNA. So after the match, Dixie would celebrate with Sting. Just be like, yo, thank you for giving me your company, and then the next Impact, you have, like, Sting be like, you're welcome, TNA, and, I'm finally going to retire. I saved the company from the gripes of Hulk Hogan. I've rid TNA of this evil. And Sting would retire the next week on Impact. So that's how I would do it. And then the main event, I would have Kurt Angle versus Crimson, world title match. I'd have this go like 20 minutes, and Kurt Angle, he was having a feud with Crimson, kind of, and then just they stopped it right in the middle of it. And I would have continued with it. Just like Kurt Angle wants to beat up all the young guys and stuff, so you can have him take out a few like X Division guys, a few other guys, and Crimson's just like, I'm undefeated this year. I've defeated some huge superstars. It's my time. He wins the Bound for Glory series, so he's guaranteed a #1 contenders title match. And you just have a match at Impact or at Bound for Glory, and eventually you have Crimson win the title. And, Kurt Angle loses, and he's like, I respect you now, Crimson. You are good working. You're strong and tough, and you were better than me. And then you can have, like, rematches after that. Just like, I want a rematch. Just, you continue that feud or for whatever. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It took me, like, 10 minutes to come up with this. I'm going to be honest. It just took me 10 minutes. And there's a story for everything. I think everything makes sense. And just leave in the comments, would you buy this pay-per-view? If this pay-per-view was the Bound for Glory coming up, would you buy it? That's what I want to know. So if you guys could leave that in the comments. If you like this, leave comments like, yeah, man, I'd totally buy it and stuff. And I think, and this pay-per-view could happen. If they really wanted to, they could pull this whole thing off. But they're going in a completely different direction. That's fine. That's their prerogative. It's their company and stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like. It really shows me that you like the video and stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. So take care, guys. Peace out.
Right now his head must be screaming, and Monster counters it. He's stretching out that torso, checking for any bruises, and you know they're there.
Oh my God, what a chair shot!
Oh no, he's trapped under the steps. He's got him hooked. Amazing hits it. Can he capitalize?
Oh no, not the steel steps.
Oh no. Oh, look at this. He's going for it again. An amazing move. Oh man.
Hooking the leg. One, two, the force, Mike.
All good things must come to an end. But I wish that match could have gone on a little longer.